Oshio, have a seat, have a seat. Oshio is Cherokee. I greet your spirit, Oshio. We don't have hello, we have I greet your spirit. And thank you to the drummers and the singers, Pidama. And these men come from a long way and have to change a lot of personal plans to do this for the people. So I'm going to have a little time here to share what I love the most, which is helping the people to awaken, helping the people to ascend through passing along the very best gift that I know how to give, the very best gift that Creator gave to us, which is these laws of creation. So sometimes I get going a little bit fast, and don't worry about it, because your higher self is picking it up. Sometimes folks just kind of nod off a little bit because they've slipped into another realm of understanding. So, and also, I'll be drawing symbols on the board here, so if you want to shift that way, that you can. So, with an introduction, and then I will go into the symbols for today. And this is what you can do for yourself every single day, because our purpose is to activate these symbols here on earth. Recently, the spirits have sent this bundle wherever Eagle and I travel, and those of you who've picked up this bundle, wherever the spirits want you to travel and take the bundle, well, you'll find yourself there. So I'm in the country of the Haudenosaunee. You know them as the Iroquois. And I wanted to do something very special that they taught me. I'm going to read a very short, what they call Thanksgiving address. Now, the real Thanksgiving address is obviously in the Haudenosaunee language, and it can go on for hours, days, and even a week to give thanks. So they have a very short version. And this is the ceremony of giving thanks. The Nashville group is calling it the Great Thanksgiving, and that was a message from Golden Light Eagle. So to begin with giving thanks, they did not call it the Thanksgiving address. They called it these words before all else. To the people, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the earth, our mother, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the water that goes into the streams and rivers, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the strawberries that we grow, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the corn that grows, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the trees that make the forests of the world, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the animals and the deer, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the watermelons that grow, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the birds that sing, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the thunder that renews the water, the ponds, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the sun, our elder brother, that shines and brings the miracle of light every day, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the moon, our grandmother, who determines the birth of our children, we give thanks, greetings, and love. To the stars who guide our future, when catastrophes and tragedies come, how to avoid them, they tell us ahead of time. We give thanks, greetings, and love. To the four sacred powers of the universe that guide our everyday life, night and day, to protect us and our villages, we give thanks, greetings, and love. And finally, to our Creator, we give our greetings, our thanks, our love for the miracle of living again. Recently, I was sitting in front of the sweat lodge, in front of the fire, And this is the moon of the corn. And our stargate, our key is silence. So the grandmothers told me to sit there in silence. So for half a day, I sat there in silence. For a while, I had my eyes closed. And I felt to put my hand down on the earth. And I touched a stone. And then I heard Mother Earth tell me something that she wants me to tell you. Mother Earth, wisdom, freedom, star. Mother Earth, wisdom, freedom, star. Mother Earth, wisdom, freedom, star shines. And I understood that this is our reminder that she is in the fifth dimension. The humanity, the human beings are not yet. Many of us have a lot of fifth dimensional experiences, what we call heaven on earth experience, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to come here. But many of our brothers and sisters still need our help, and that is exactly our job. How long it will take us to get into the fifth dimension, to become fifth dimensional human beings, it only matters how fast we can help our brothers and sisters to wake up. So the spirits have given me some reminders that you will find in the Star Knowledge books. So I'm a school teacher. I love these books. And I love it that Creator has given us this gift. These are 52,000-year-old, you could say, symbols. You could say energies. We've been told they are laws of creation. They've been called rods. They are you. They are in your DNA since the inception of time. And now it is your job to awaken them. So through ceremony, and what do I mean by ceremony? One by one, these symbols that are in the Star Knowledge book, the 11 universal and the 11 spiritual laws, one by one, there were a group of elders that sat in circle with the sacred pipe. So when you open up to the symbol for the day, or the symbol for the moon, or the symbol for the season, know that that in itself was one symbol with the sacred pipe. What do you need to know about the sacred Chanupa? It is truth. When something is done by the way of the Chanupa, it is truth. So this is truth. And it will help you awaken because these symbols are already in you. They're in your DNA. And day by day, you awaken these symbols through your efforts. No one can do it for you. There's a message for each day. And so at this time, in order to help our brothers and sisters, first we help ourselves. So all of this comes under the heading of the 7 arrows of Ascension. So that's what we're working on for all of humanity. And Brother Chief Golden Light Eagle and I and many of the teachers here, Bear Cloud, Brother Blue Star Eagle Chief, we are teachers of the 7 arrows of Ascension. And the first arrow is what you know as Reiki or Christ light, or in our way, Dakota language, or the language of the way of Grandmother White Buffalo Calf Woman. It's called the way of the hands. The way of the hands. Reiki is a borrowed word. It's not a Turtle Island word. It's from the Japanese language. The way of the hands. The second arrow is the way of the stars. And that includes your understandings for the 11:11, the 12:12, and the 13:13. So that's quite a bit right there. If you pick up the Makawi Chakpi Wichokan, the symbols book, you're working with the 11:11. If you pick up then, you're ready for the Iktomi Wichakpi Wichokan. This is the way of the star spider. And these are the universal and spiritual laws of Universal Mother. Now you're working with 8 different universes. You're working with the 8 legs of the spider, with a 9th over-governing umbrella, big spider grandma. You're working with universal feminine symbols. And those are the symbols that govern our ceremonies of the solar ceremonies. Solstices, equinoxes, the cross quarters in between. The 11:11, they come up on your days of the week and your moons and your seasons. Now there's a third set of symbols, the 13:13. And again, we're talking about you, and it's the activation of your spine. And they come in on the second and fourth quarter. So you'll have a feminine on the second quarter, and then a masculine symbol on the fourth quarter. And they go up each side of the spine, yin, yang, activating your spine. So right now, most of you, how many are following a 13 moon calendar? Good. This brother here and his family, they took it serious several years ago, and their children too. So the rest you could say are on a 12-month calendar, and you have your clock going, and you have 60 minutes in an hour, right? So that is called 1260 time. And basically, I'm here to try to talk you out of that. 1260 is a false clock time. And one reason is this. Take a look at that clock on the wall, right? Well, ever since about 6th grade or maybe at least 8th grade, didn't you learn that 360 degrees in a circle is space? And now they're telling you it's time. We need to wake up. We need to quit buying in. The clock is not time. It's a space wheel with 360 degrees. So I'm talking about what we've been sold as time, and it's a whole false way of walking. But it's worse than that. That 1260 vibration creates fear in you. How many times have you said, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to be late? So what we want to switch to is the 1320 vibration, 13 moons, and the Gregorian calendar, you only have 12 months. So what does that do in terms of that spinal activation I was talking about that goes yin yang up the spine? After 12 levels or 12 dimensions or 12 lunations, you're only here. The 13th moon is activation of the skull and the opening to Creator. So you see what the plan was? Let's cut the humans off right here. Let's stop their energy flow, their vibration, their understandings, their connection to Creator. And by the way, we'll put boots on them too, and then we can get them to do whatever we want. It's called the army. Or we'll cut their hair too. So these things, now you have the option to choose differently. You, through your free will, can choose the 1320 vibration through the 13 moon calendar. And I'm very, very happy to tell you that this coming year has 13 moons. You're going to have your skull activated and the connection to Creator, providing you work with the symbols day by day, moon by moon, solar ceremony by solar ceremony. I'm not going to kid around. There are so many people that have heard of this way and that are not sitting with the symbols and working with them to bring the light into yourself and to anchor it into Mother Earth. Now, the importance of that, first of all, is we have a covenant. It's called the Covenant with Turtle Island. We each made a rainbow covenant before we came. And the covenant is really simple. We do whatever it takes to keep this system of stars. Yes, we all have a system of stars. In India, they said chakras. But in our system of Turtle Island, in the way of the White Buffalo Calf Woman, you have inner stars. And Chief Blue Star Eagle's paintings in the back, you'll see Brother Bear. And you'll see beside the bear a star tetrahedron. That's actually what your inner stars are, your light body. So in our Rainbow Covenant, we said that we would keep this system of stars clean. Native Americans use the sweat lodge and the songs that go with it to keep our eagle bone whistle clear and open. Or in the Eastern nations, they say the hollow reed. So then you're opened up. The colors of your stars are bright. You call in the essences Love, light, peace, unity, harmony, truth, and freedom. Now what? How does that become the rainbow covenant? Now, you whirl the lights and become the whirling rainbow star woman, the whirling rainbow star man. And then just at that point, you're just at the beginning of being able to be useful to Creator, to be helpful to Mother Earth, to bring through the light. And in particular, we're talking about the light of these symbols right now. So you bring through the light of these symbols for the purpose of anchoring the light in Mother Earth. And no matter what you see going on the TV or in the magazines or you hear, just let it go. There's a great cleansing happening now. Mother Earth is shifting and adjusting her dress. You keep doing your light work. You keep your system clear. You call in the ancestors, the guardians of these symbols. You read the messages and you work in a pure way with these gifts of light and anchor them day by day. In the end, at the back of the 1111 book, there's a group of ceremonies that you can do. And then you co-create. One spring, I found a bad area near where a house was constructed, and it was almost time for the new moon of the eagle. So I decided to buy marigolds and make the marigolds in the symbol of the new moon. So the symbol for the eagle is universal law of symmetry. So I bought 22 little bitty marigolds. But I couldn't help myself. I decided to make the full symbol and buy 44 marigolds. And the spiritual symbol looks like this. "44 marigolds in the shape of the ancient medicine wheel. These symbols are often hidden in plain sight. And so for a while, the marigolds had a really hard time. They were kind of brown, ugly. So I went away and I came back from Sundance. The marigolds had they had meshed into one big golden mass. And the thing is, that area is clean forever. The star beings that I called in on the new moon of the eagle with the symbol for the eagle, they blessed that area that had been nails and charred wood. So sometimes the work is very literal and very simple. These 11 universal 11 spiritual symbols also form what we call vortexes, and you're looking at a vortex now. We unified the universal and the spiritual, and this is the symbol in its power of the 4 directions. In the workshop for the vortexes, I'm going to share with you how we use these symbols to help all over Mother Earth, meaning if we find out that on the earthquake map, too many earthquakes in Oklahoma, we'll work with the vortexes and prayers and that music that was playing. Hey, put the music back on. That music, and I will explain how we work with those vortexes, the music, and certain disciplines, and we do it together all over Turtle Island. We phone each other, we text each other, we put out the word. I'll send Janice an email and I'll say, found out about, and you all know Iceland is, we don't need that. So what do? We watch the news and cry around? Or we just chat over coffee with our neighbors? No, we are star altar carriers. We have the symbols, we have the prayer ways, we have the vortexes, we have the divine love music, and we have the most powerful thing of all, the heart, the generator. Behind all of these tools, we put our heart and our intent that we're going to help make things different for Mother Earth. Yes, she has on a new dress, and yes, she's adjusting, she's shifting. We don't need nuclear plants in New York State, there's a nuclear plant, 2 of them on top of a double fault line. I've been praying. A lot of grandmothers have been praying. Now I want you praying with us. So we're going to go deep into the explanation with these tools. But the main tool is your heart. At one of our workshop or our lectures in the 2010 Serpent Mound Conference, that we had a specialist there speaking about the power of the mind. And he talked and he had us really convinced. And then at the end, he explained, but the heart is 5,000 times that power. So we are generators of wisdom and truth. Eagle talked about in our heart is everything in the universe. It's known to us here. You don't have to go outside yourself. As he said, you don't have to go external. Then you take that power. And especially the grandmas, we know what's right. We know what we don't want to see. So you pick up your vortexes, you pick up your symbols. You know your symbol for the day, you know your guardian for the day, you know the message for today, or you know all 7. So I'm gonna really quick show you the symbols for today. Just the power of one day. How much time I got? 20 minutes? Good. All right, let's just dig in deep, because this is what you can do. You get your books, you get your calendar, and keep praying, because the calendars haven't gotten here from the print shop yet. Just call them in. And then you work with it. And then you ask these elders here in Nashville, or you text me or email me, and I'll help you understand from whatever I understand. And then you help me. For about 17 years, I've been traveling Turtle Island, and then they sent this bundle overseas. When you're working with the symbols, and I'm going to show you today, there are brothers and sisters in South America working with this at the Universal Brotherhood and Peace in Sao Paulo. There are brothers and sisters at the World Peace Prayer Sanctuary in Mount Fuji working with these symbols, these books. The book is printed in Portuguese in Brazil. So we are unified. So what happens when you get a full moon? Moon of the corn. You're unified all over Turtle Island, all over the earth, calling in the same symbol at the same time, and you're unified galactically. Our galactic brothers and sisters are using these same symbols in these, what we know as humans as time cycles. Correct, there is no such thing as time. However, if you want to activate, today is the day to activate third eye. So everything I'm going to show you here is going to activate your third eye. You're going to feel it. Every Thursday, third eye, 52 times a year. So the days of the week, go with the activations of the inner stars, go with the Reiki symbols, go with the colors, teach the children the rainbow, teach the children the simple. Today's Whale Day. And the children can learn that whale song that the elders sang on the drum. And on Whale Day, they sing the whale song. Co-create with this knowledge continuously. Okay. So this is the moon of the corn. Moon of the corn is spiritual law of choice. Each symbol has 3 guardians, an earth guardian, a star guardian, and an ascended master. And the first week of the moon cycle, you work with just the name of the guardian. Second week, third week. Now we're in the 4th week of the moon of the corn. The guardian is Buddha of truth. And the third eye, when you're working with your love, light, peace, unity, harmony, truth, and freedom. So we have double truth during this day of the conference. For the whole conference, Buddha of truth opens gates of future possibilities. Opens gates of future possibilities. I heard the eagle talking about that this morning. During this entire 4 days, this symbol and the Buddha of truth. So, what if everyone here draws the symbol, circles it, and calls the Buddha of truth every morning for 4 days? So Grandmother Wolf was reminding Grandfather Mahuti this morning, call, ask. They're sitting right here. they can't do anything because of the law of free will, which every being in the universe will honor. They can't do anything to help us until we call. So we call Buddha of Truth, spiritual law of choice. We make the symbol and we circle it to empower it, to energize it. You can draw it in the dirt. You can make it on your altar. Okay, for this, so I've actually talked about the symbol for this moon, and the symbol for this week is this symbol with the guardian Buddha of Truth. The symbol for today, universal law of nature, but I'm not going to make it in that activated circle because I want to make the vortex of nature today. Universal law of nature. Tomorrow, spiritual law of protection. So for today and tomorrow, the vortex of true nature, protection of life, makes over all that is. So Janice and her crew have known of the importance of this time frame and all that they have prepared for us. Through this vortex, we have the power to make the prayer makes over all that is, respectfully, with the highest vibration. And they have provided, you could say, the altar for this very high vibration for us to make this prayer together, to call in love, light, peace, unity, harmony, truth, and freedom. For this whole altar is a dance with the 7 stars, is a dance with the Pleiades, the 7 stars within you. Love, light, peace, unity, harmony, truth, and freedom. So we pray that together at this time. Pretty fancy, huh? Every Thursday and Friday you can do this. This is the Reiki symbol for today, activating the third eye. It's a Tibetan daikomyo, and often we just call it in by chanting. So let's make that daikomyo. 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 Starting with summer solstice was a season of love, universal law of love. The season of love, and this changes at fall equinox. There'll be a new symbol starting after 9/29 on Monday. So now we're in the season of love. This is another symbol for the day. It's from the altar of Holy Boy, and in the workshop I'll explain that further. It's, again, activating your third eye today. Spiritual law of karma and grace. So there's 3 symbols each day activating your third eye. Depends on how far you want to go to work with them. Our chief golden light eagle, he's a really grounded teacher. So today he's working with simply universal law of nature and the deer. So the earth guardian, he's working with the name of the symbol and the earth guardian. He keeps it really simple, and that's a good way to start with the children. Today is nature, and look where we are. I would say that most of you normally don't live in this much nature. The water and the bird people. We've been given, the stone people, a huge gift of being in nature. So Some of this time, most of the time, all of the time, these symbols are sort of like right in your face. Nature. Now, this is your solar ceremony, the 8 legs of the spider. So you have, here's the sun, Mother Earth traveling around the sun. And in those positions we know of winter, spring, summer, fall, and then the cross quarters in between. So the last ceremony was the green corn ceremony, started on August 1st. It's a cross quarter. And all over the world, it's the indigenous people that celebrate this ceremony, green corn. And we're not quite to fall equinox. So we're still in the ceremony of green corn. This is called the universal path of all relations. And the energy comes down from the white buffalo star nation. What was the first thing that happened today? Grandmother White Buffalo Calf Woman came. This is the doorway that is open to her realm now, ever since August 1. So when you know your symbols, you know the doorways, you know the energies, and from where they come to activate you and your ceremonies. This is the time of the White Buffalo Star Nation, also called the Mitakwiyasi. We are all related. This is the universal path of all relations. So that's the underlying theme that we're all saying in all different languages. We're saying oneness. We're saying brother and sister. So this energy's coming to activate all our work, providing we call universal path of all relations, and we call the White Buffalo Star Nation, which Golden Light Eagle did do, and we call the Mitakwiyasi. It's up to you. This is how it works. Now the 1313 symbol. So now I'm shifting back to the lunar part of the calendar. This board is shaking. Now I want to read this to you because I want to get it correct. I want to get it complete. This symbol is called On. What was it Reverend Jean said this morning about the Andromedans had her turned around backwards, and that they sang the song to the chief at the end instead of beginning? Okay. It's these guys. On, spiritual law of resurrection. The realm of star lineage. The realm of the Owl Nation, the Andromedas, and Genesis, playground of new creation. So just now I opened that portal. Those guardians have just now been called in. We are now connected to the house of On, Andromeda, and connected to the Owl Nation, and connected to Genesis, playground of new creation. So this is what we're up to. Each day you can do the same. Get your symbol for your moon, and in the moon symbol there will also be a key or a stargate. We're in the stargate of silence, and you've heard our elders talk about the value of working in the silence. Eagle showed all that commotion and noise, and it was an affront to our system. And then he took us into the silence. So this is the moon to spend time in the silence. And when I was at that sweat lodge, I went there knowing that it would be helpful, and my intent was set to receive anything they wanted me to receive for the speaking. But it was only when I had been in the silence for half a day that Grandmother Earth spoke. She has on her shining dress. We are not yet all in the 5th dimension. So use your symbols. Go in and find the message of the elk and the 4 codes of the elk. Go into the first arrow of Ascension, the Morning Star Way, the Reiki Way. There are 5 Reiki principles. There are also 5 arts of harmony. So if you do just those 3 things in the morning, say your elk codes. I'm not going to say them for you. I want you to find them. I want you to search them. Say your elk codes. They're codes of the heart. They're codes of truth. The elk nation is the Christ nation. The elk nation is the Christ nation. The elk altar is the Christ altar. The Reiki is the way of Christ. These are 5 principles to say to yourself in the morning. This is a purification process. This is a discipline process. And we are the path showers. We are the ones to set the example. My daddy told me, he said, the best thing you can be is to be a good example. And I was just little. The interesting thing was he only said that to me once. He said that to me once because he honored my spirit. He knew I would pick it up. He knew I got it. And we would work in the garden together. I was just little, 4. He made my own little spot for me in the garden. But well before it got dark, he would stand in the middle of the garden, and he was totally quiet, just looking out to the west. Back then, we had to hide the fact that we were Indian. Now I know that my Oglala Lakota father was facing the west and making his prayers at the end of the day. So I just liked standing there in the dirt, barefooted, with Daddy. He was busy. He was a school teacher and a principal, so it was just good to stand there with him. Then we would go over to the faucet with the hose, and we'd be cleaning our tools. So most of the time we did all this in the silence. Once in a while, Daddy would teach. So one time he's cleaning, and he straightens up, and he looks far, and he's not talking to me, and he is talking to me. He's talking to my heart. And he told me, he said, you know, we have a good name. Talking about our family name. We have a good name. That means a lot down in the Ozarks. You got a good name? And he said, but it's not important what I do with our name. You can't rest on my laurels. It's important what you do with our name. My heart is full out working with these symbols in these ways. It is important what you do with these ways. And Eagle and I and all of these elders here who have learned these ways will help you all that we can. Dig in and get to work. There's no more time to wait, because that's how long it's going to take for the human beings, the brothers and sisters, the two-leggeds, to wake up. Everyone. And pray for those who are on the fence, who haven't for sure chosen the light. Pray for them, because until they wake up, we don't all go through the gate. We go through the gate together. And the Buddha has opened the gates of future possibility. So anything can happen. We could wake up like that. 11, 11, 12, 12, and 13, 13. I'm going to take you deeper into these ways in the workshops. And then especially with the vortexes, we're going to work with the book of Grandmother Barbara Wolf and Margaret Anderson. They traveled the world taking these vortexes. And then they wrote a book called 2013 and Beyond. Then they traveled the world some more, just with the vortexes, the divine love music that you hear playing, and the prayers that we'll talk about. And this is 2013 and Beyond Part 2. So just be that unstoppable. If there is an earthquake going on in your area, if they're fracking in your area, if you take a walk and there's dishwater in the creek, I want you to do something. If there's an area when you were a child and you saw beautiful trees there, and now you walk by there and it's something else, take these vortexes and pray for the land and do the cleanup. and put all your heart into it. Home takuasi.
Thank you, Grandmother. Thank you so much.